Meantime, Becky, this story making waves on Wall Street. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. now courting the Reddit apes, the third-party candidate and challenger, saying he has invested $24,000 in GameStop in an effort, he says, to show solidarity with retail investors over large institutional funds. He posted this image on X and said his administration would support the, quote, ape retail rebellion and enact aggressive Wall Street reforms. He said, quote, let's punish predatory short selling to the moon. By the way, I ride with you and I'm not leaving, unquote. I'm so curious what you guys think of this. I have to say, look, maybe there's a lot of problems with naked shorting and all sorts of other things, but I fear that this is almost irresponsible in some way because it's just, going to be promoting folks to go out and buy a stock that, as we've talked about, if it's a long-term investment, at least, I mean, maybe it's, from a trading perspective, you can think about it differently, but from a long-term investment, the numbers just don't add up.
No, we kind of sort of settled this 3 years ago. I mean, there was this big current of, social outrage that was misplaced, thinking that there was some kind of conspiracy there. I think what you give RFK Jr.'s campaign credit for is just identifying these hives of belief that are out there in social media and trying to tap into them, whether they're based on fact or not. And that's kind of what this seems like to me. GameStop shares actually down 4% yesterday, so it didn't really do much to reignite that trade.
But he's looking for voters, not for people to come into the trade with him. And look, this morning, in the last 24 minutes, all we've talked about are each of these candidates doing things to try and win elections. You've got Biden trying to buy in voters by saying that he's going to forgive all the student loans. You've got Trump courting crypto advocates of any of these things. Everybody's looking for pockets of voters. That's what we're talking about. It's a crazy election season.
No, and that's true. But I think this is maybe one of the first times we've seen the stock market, the idea of investing in certain stocks, including Truth Social and now potentially GameStop, as a way of either demonstrating some kind of support for, or in the case of Truth Social, potentially even funneling money to a candidate. And that is a very unusual and new thing in the stock market and in politics, it seems like. So.
First, as I've said before, individual investors standing up together for change in the financial markets has nothing to do with politics. People of many different political opinions and affiliations are working together in support of change in the financial markets. Left, right, center, we're all in this together. It's encouraging to see a presidential candidate acknowledge some of the problems in the financial markets, and I would like to see the other candidates also chime in on the topic and stand up for meaningful reform. I saw some people online yesterday questioning if RFK is just trying to buy votes, and I'll be honest, I do not know. Either way, I think it's a good thing that a presidential candidate is speaking openly about these issues, and I encourage the other candidates to do the same. I think a good next step would be for RFK and any other candidates who join him in support of market reform to explain in more detail what specific changes they would make in the financial markets if elected. Here are some of the changes that I think should be made in the financial markets. Market makers should not be allowed to double as hedge funds. Market makers should not be allowed to inject infinite liquidity of any given stock into the financial markets while simultaneously shorting those very same stocks on the hedge fund side of their business. Short sale data should be reported in real time. All of individual investors' orders should be routed to lit transparent exchanges rather than opaque alternative trading systems known as dark pools. The exchanges should not be for-profit ventures, but rather should be not-for-profit public utilities, as they used to be in the past. The exchanges becoming for-profit entities have created many conflicts of interest, as former SEC Commissioner Robert Jackson explained in an interview with Jon Stewart back in 2022. Payment for order flow should be banned. It is already banned in many other countries due to the insane conflicts of interest it creates. Large firms should be held accountable for their actions, and entities who fail to deliver on their obligations should be held to account. Ultimately, it's simple. What individual investors want is a free, fair, and transparent stock market for all investors. Please leave a like on this video so more people will see it. And while you're down there, please consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always change your mind. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.